All right. It says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. I am super excited for the race today. Should be a fun one. The grid offers us a lot of chalk, lots of pivots, so looking forward to a fun race. We got a Millie Maker over on DraftKings, so hopefully you guys got your lottery tickets in, but just give me a good to go and we will get started. About 100 of you waiting. So happy that you're all here. Hopefully we can have a nice little crowd today for the first race of the season, but looking forward to it. People saying hair and makeup emergency, yes. Got me and Timothy says loud and clear. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I see there's a lot of people in the chat already, so I'll say my hellos, let everyone roll in, and we will get this started. I got 150 max on DK set. I gotta do FanDuel still, and I'm working on some single entries and some milli bullets. But it's nice that, we at the Clash we were doing stuff live, but everything done, so should be a lot more organized this time. But I say I got a donut from my man Brian, also known as Heat Fan in the Discord. Shout out to him. He took down 5K just a couple of days ago, so I do appreciate the dono. He says go Gibbs, which I'm sure Zan would be very happy about that. What's up, Cass? Says making some ugly lineups. I feel good. Yeah, if you hate your lineups today, you're doing it right. If you like them, well, you should probably restart. Gabe says the lineups only a degenerate could love. You know it. You know it. Got my wrenches here, Andy and spread. Looking forward to the day today. Hopefully we can kill it. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet here and just so I have that for reference. Let's see, got my camera here. Good morning, Andy. What's up, guys? What's up, Rick? Gator Boy, looking for that name to be in the top of your DK contest. So I joined the Discord, Rick. Do appreciate that, which does remind me, I do need to mention a couple of things. So one, if you want to join the DraftKings contest, I know there was two. I think something got messed up, but if I can grab that first one, I'm going to put it out on Twitter here in a little bit. And then also, I've always had my premium Discord, but I do have a free one now if you guys want to end up joining. So I can put an invite link into the chat for that, if anyone is ever interested. But yeah, so I pretty much said everything I wanted to say in the strategy or the picks video for the most part. So I'm really just here to hang out with you guys, answer any questions you may end up having, and kind of go through it there. Got a donut from my man DL, Kyle Larson cash play. I think what he wants me to say is, yeah, Kyle Larson 100% lock in cash, but please don't do that, guys. I have 0% Kyle Larson today. And also got the Daytona mug, which I guess you guys can't see, but had to bring it out for today. What's up, Ryan? NASCAR is back. It sure is. Michael says my lineups look like trash. Good. If your lineups don't look like trash today, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. He says, what are your must-have cores for small field cash games? I'm thinking Kyle Busch, JJ, and Ross. I want to agree with you on Ross, but Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson for sure, 100% log cash plays. After that, I'm probably looking at Ty Dillon for my next guy. Just really stacking the back there. So you got another donut from my man Eric. Mason says hi, Oakley. So I would get Oakley, but he's back there. I don't want to get him all riled up because Juliana's not here today, so I'm just by myself, so I can't get him riled up because I have no one to stop him. But I'll tell him Mason said hello. I do appreciate the donut. Do appreciate it. Let's see. I'll scroll down here a little bit. People were just talking before we got in here. Rick says, I think Justin Haley, Ty Gibbs, and Jimmy Johnson are some smash plays. I can agree with you there. I do worry about the ownership of Jimmy Johnson. I am planning on being just a little bit underweight in tournaments, just because if you're looking for a week to get different in tournaments, this is going to be it. Like, yes, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, obviously the best plays on paper, but at the same time, I mean, there's just such high variance here. There's pivots right next to them that have very similar upside. Obviously, Riley Herbst is not going to be, on a projection basis, the same play as a Kyle Busch or a Jimmy Johnson, but honestly, they have very similar upside, and he's not even going to be near an ownership. So I am overweight on guys like Riley Herbst in the back or Justin Haley that aren't going to garner as much ownership compared to Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson, who I'm a little bit underweight on in tournaments. Cash games, yes, they're a lock. In tournaments, though, I'm going to be underweight because if they happen to crash out and finish like 30th, yeah, it's not going to kill you, but you're also not going to take down a tournament with that. He says Larson's starting too high for me. Yeah, I have absolutely zero Larson today. I have the only driver in the top 5 I have any exposure to, I believe, is, well, no, I take that back. I have 2% Bell and I have 4% Logano, I believe. 4 or 5% Logano, just in case he wins the race. Even then, if he does win, it's not a guarantee that he's optimal. There happens to be a ton of place differential, so you just got to be careful. What's up, Rick? Says it's race day. It sure is, man. It sure is. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. It's going to be a mess, but it's a beautiful mess. That's Daytona. Aaron says, I can see this race scaring. Stack the back lines until less than 10 to go, then it gets crazy. Yeah, if you are completely stacking the back and you're losing a lot of money, I mean, that's to be expected. You're just waiting for the wreck. So, I mean, if you're watching DraftKings lines during the race, just a waste of time. It means absolutely nothing because you can be winning a milli with 4 laps to go and then you could be losing. So, I mean, nothing really matters until the final checkered flag. See, Natalie says, good morning from South Florida. Oh, I'm there as well. Nice to be back with the NASCAR gang. Yeah, nice to see you, Natalie. Always like seeing the NASCAR faces come back around. You guys are my favorite sport community out there. Definitely by far. Eric says, good morning, everyone. Happy Daytona. Yeah, happy Daytona. Should be a fun one today. Should be. Michael says, Austin is a really good play. If you mean Austin Dillon, I don't think there's another Austin. I guess Austin Center. I'm assuming you mean Dillon. I like Austin Dillon today for sure. Spread says, everyone hit the like button on the way in. Yeah, it does help me out quite a bit. Also got Bull here says, good morning, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out. Sure does. Just something small in return. I do appreciate that. What's up, Bonnie? What's up, Michael? DL says, I agree. Hammering Austin Hill. If we could get some Austin Hill ownership today, that'd be nice. All right, I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Yeah, you can cash your bets on me being late. I'm late every single live stream. You know how it is. You know how Boss likes to make an entrance. Brian says, one of the best weekends of the year. It sure is, man. It's like a holiday. Feels like it. NASCAR season kicking off. Had the duels. Now we got Daytona. And no really other sports on today unless you count XFL as a sport. NBA's on break. Wish there was a Cleveland Browns car. It would just be constant disappointment. Constant disappointment. Lots of potential, but they disappoint you every single time. Could already see how that would go. Yeah, but with the wrench, he's flexing that. Milan says, Hamlin, Austin Dillon, or Chastain and Reddick? I'd probably go with Hamlin and Dillon there. Just because I like Dillon a little bit more than Reddick, but it's very similar. Very similar. Michael says, good morning, Chris. I'm a 20 entry max guy all year this year. Awesome, man. Hope you have success with that. 20 max can be fun. It can also be a little intense, especially if it's not the chrome horn, I don't believe, this week, but whatever it is. That can definitely be a tough one. What's up, Sniper Kitty? Welcome to the jungle, says De Palma. Yeah. Timothy says, looks like 100 spots left. Yeah, I have not promoted the contest at all, so I actually should probably find the link to that really quick. Hold on. I will find the link and I'll put it on Twitter so you guys can head over there. I'm at Chris Pennell 16. You can find it in the bottom right here. But just let me grab this link here. I'm going to head over to Twitter. And then we can fill that up. I just haven't promoted it yet this week. It's my bad. So just give me a hot second here. And we shouldn't have a problem filling that. All right, that is live. If you guys want to head to my Twitter and you haven't yet joined the contest, I do shout out the winner each and every single week. We got 90 spots left, so we should not have a problem filling that. Good morning, James. Good morning. Nate says smash the like button. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Can't believe I'm asking this, says Jack, but the guy starting last place, Pastrami. Pastrami or BJ McLeod? I would go with the Pastrami there. I'd go with Pastrami. Just, I mean, the upside is, I'm not saying he's like, I mean, yeah, he has upside. I know we have limited experience, especially in this next-gen car, but he's in a good ride with 2311, so. See my girlfriend's here. Hi, handsome. Hello. Nice for you to be here. Good luck, everyone. Excited for NASCAR to be back. Yeah. Awesome. Glad you can make it. She's back in Ohio, unfortunately, right now. So I'm loaning it down in Florida as of right now. What's up, Jim? I have 21 lineups made. Can you give me the 6 best play? I just can't give you a lineup, Jim. But if you have any specific questions, I'll be more than happy to answer you. But the best 6 plays might be a bit too much to ask. James says BJ McLeod 15% coverage. So I don't personally have 15% on BJ McLeod. Let me pull up my exposures right now. Make sure I had them pulled up for you guys because I know everyone would ask. So I don't have much BJ McLeod. We're talking like 3 to 5%. It's just because of where he's starting. If he was starting 35th on back, I would have more BJ McLeod. It's just kind of how it fell there, to be honest. And his optimal rate in my sim scores, I believe he was sitting at, let me find that. Yeah, I had him optimal at 2.9%. I believe I have him at 3% in my exposures. So kind of sitting right around there. It's just there's better plays down there. Like I have Cody, it's not like I'm avoiding just the scrubs. Because of Cody Ware, I got close to 10% because he was popping around, I believe, 10% optimal in the sims. It's just BJ McLeod starting a little bit higher than the rest down there. So I wasn't getting as much of him as I might have thought. Sorry, I think I missed a couple things here. What do you think about Riley Herbst? I like him today. He's actually one of my favorite tournament plays. I mean, he's starting in 38th. We've seen David Reagan use this car, and I'm not saying he's David Reagan. I love playing David Reagan at super speedways, but I mean, he's got the ability to finish in the top 25, top 20, and he actually does have one of the best positive leverage scores on my sims right now. And if you guys do want access to that stuff, links down below in the description. We've had a lot of people sign up this weekend, so the community got a nice little bump there. So I do appreciate everyone that has joined, and if you are going to join, I do appreciate that. Got their ownership projections, optimal scores, leverage scores, and a bunch much more. But something that I've really just been looking at the entire weekend because that's all this weekend is. It's ownership, and it's just playing what you think the field's going to do and making your pivots off of that. Because we can't predict this race. I said that in the picks video on Friday. You can't predict this race, but what we can do is try to predict what the field's going to do and then go your own route. So, I mean, really all the questions today, I'm going to have to base it off of like ownership and, you know, optimal rate and things like that. Because I can't just sit here and tell you, yeah, Joey Logano's going to win this race. I 100% believe that. No. It's just not how it's going to work here. I mean, anyone can win. Probably not like a BJ McLeod can't win, but you know what I mean. Tori says 5.9K left on DraftKings. Well, I'm not sure who you have, but assuming you don't have anyone below 5.9K, I believe my highest projected there is either Ty Gibbs or Ty Dillon. So one of the ties. Timothy says he left 8,500 left on the table. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I have some lineups with, well, my optimizer tells me what my lowest salary used is. Let me check. So my min salary in 150 lineups is 33,700. So do the math on that, but that's close to 20K left on the table. So definitely a week to leave salary on the table for sure. I mean, you can make a really good lineup with just a bunch of scrubs. Big Gooder says he likes Haley at super speedways. Yeah, me too. I like Haley a lot in tournaments today. And based off of where he's starting, there's a decent amount of big names back there. So I do think the colleague guys could go a bit overlooked because if you're looking where Haley is starting, he's in 28th. You have Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, Austin Dillon all starting right in front of him. And then you have Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse, and then obviously Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch starting a little bit further back. So I do think they're going to get a little bit overlooked because all these place differential plays can't be high owned. I mean, some of these guys are just going to get overlooked. And Haley isn't a huge name or anything. So I do think he's a pretty good spot to go in tournaments. And leverage-wise, he is grading out pretty well for me. Actually, one of the highest leverage drivers in my projections. No, you do not need any DOMs today. Triple Gs, they mean absolutely nothing. I do have the top dominator tool going, but I mean, I just don't really care. Like I have Ryan Blaney as the top dom at 8.1%. Then I have Chase Elliott 7.5% and Logano at 7.3% for the top doms today, but it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't mean anything. Got a donor from my man Clint. Before I open it, I assume he's going to say something about Harvick, so I'm going to open it now. And yep, I was right. How do you feel about Bubba and Harvick? GBP, you know I'm playing Harvick anyway. Thanks as always. Excited for C-Pen in 2023. Hit the like button. Appreciate you, Clint. But anyway, about Bubba, I do like Bubba today. I mean, he's got a decent shot to win. I think in my, let me check my scores here. So I have Bubba at a 5% chance to win, which is kind of right on par with what Vegas has. But yeah, I think Bubba's fine tournament play. I got him close to 20%. He's one of my highest owned drivers starting inside the top 20. And as for Harvick, I don't like him as much. I think I'm sitting right around 10%, 10 to 15. I mean, I would say I like his price, but the price doesn't mean anything here. Starting at 13th, this is just kind of tough for where he's starting. So, I mean, sitting around 10% is fine. And I think if he wins today, you get like, I mean, you don't automatically get $2 million, but you get put in a pool to win $2 million from Busch, I guess. So we have that to root forward to. But I like Bubba for sure. Harvick, yeah, it's a little bit iffy, but I do have some exposure to him. And appreciate the dono. Got Mantito here, says good morning, boss. Hashtag Truex. Yeah, I got some Truex today. Not a lot, but I got some. He had a good start for the Clash, that's for sure this season. De Palma says stack 24 through 27. They score most points combined on average in the back. And see, that's you got to be careful not getting too caught up in stats like that, because it's like, well, who was starting there? It doesn't really mean much, you know? Like, just because you start 24 through 27, it has no effect on the driver. It just happens to be driver that started there. Just happen to not get caught up in the wrecks. But yes, on average, the guys in the back are going to outscore the guys in the front. I'm just saying, don't look at specific numbers, because that's a very noisy stat. You know, it's not something I'd want to get caught up in. But I do like the drivers starting 24 through 27. So, I mean, I can't disagree there. But I just don't want to get caught up in stats like that. Jeff says, last lineup I had 18.7K left over. Probably the best lineup so far. It might be, Jeff. It might just be. And there's nothing wrong with that. For anyone new here, I know there's going to be a lot of casuals because it's the Millie Maker. And there's just no sports on, no NBA, no NFL. I guess if you're playing XFL. But, man, I could never get into that. But, yeah, leave money on the table. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that come in here today. They're going to play guys inside the top 10. They're going to max out their salary. And those lineups suck. You're not going to win. So, I mean, we should be thankful for the casuals today. But for those of you here, do not make that mistake. Good morning, James. Dave says, thoughts on Priest and Gregson for GPP? Yeah, those are guys that I just can't really get to pop too much in my optimizer. I do have around... Let me check my Gregson exposure. So I got, yeah, it's like less than 6%. And then on Priest, I have a little bit more. He's setting that 5 to 7% range. I just could not get them to pop in the opto. It's just because there's many other big name drivers right next to them. Like William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain. So it's kind of tough for me to get them to pop. But I made sure I had a couple darts on them, but I'm not going my way to play them. They're just kind of like right in a really weird dead spot, like mid-pack. What's up, Albert? Nice to be back. Yeah, it sure is. Love seeing you. This is my favorite part of the week, doing these streams, so it's good to be back. I hate when I can't do them when football starts and things like that. Dimitri says, what settings do you use for DraftKings and FanDuel, exposure, randomness, and uniques? So for DraftKings specifically, what I like to do is, it depends on each race, but for a super speedway, I did 50% randomness. My projections are already conservative as it is, so it kind of really covers all the bases there. So I do 50% randomness, and then I set up 3 groups, and it would be 0 to 2 drivers starting 1st through 12th, 0 to 3 or 0 to 4 drivers starting 13th through 24th, and then anywhere from 3 to 4 to 6 drivers starting 25th on back. In FanDuel, it's the same premise, although I don't think you really have to set groups for FanDuel just because finishing position is a little bit more important. But if you wanted to, you could, but FanDuel's not going to be as serious as far as my grouping is concerned. Which I still have to do my FanDuel lineups. Ryan says, tired from working the night shift, Beller, Hamlin, or Truex? Yeah, Heat's been in the Discord. I woke up, I think he was in there like 6 a.m. just talking to Bob. Or Bob Butt in there. Anyway, Beller, Hamlin, or Truex. It'd be Hamlin for me out of those 3. I have like 2% Bell today. And even then, I don't love that. But just in case he wins, I wanted to sprinkle. Dustin says, top 3 tourney plays. I'll give you two. I really like Eric Jones today, starting in 25th. If you just look at the guys he's starting by, it's just simply trying to get off some ownership because Tyler Reddick's not getting a lot of ownership because just people like Tyler Reddick. I mean, I get it. He projects well for me. Austin Dillon's right there in 27th. And then you have William Byron, Ross Chastain starting in front of him as well. Then obviously the big name drivers, Eric Jones, who's very good at super speedways. He's won at Daytona before, and he had one of the best average running positions at supers last year. He's starting in 25th. I think he's going to go a bit overlooked. Looks good in my leverage scores. So yeah, I like Jones today a lot. And then I like Riley Herbst down there. I think I'm putting too much of a P emphasis on that. But he's down there starting in 37th. Or yeah, starting in the back. So okay, sorry, I was looking at a different number. I had him and Cody Ware mixed up, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's 38. I like him starting back there because you have Travis Pastrana, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch. Obviously, I think you're all going to get more ownership, even Ty Dillon. So if he's going to get kind of left out there, I like him a lot. And he actually, as of right now, is my highest leverage driver according to my sims, just because I think people are going to forget about him a little bit, which I get because the equipment's not as good, but that doesn't really matter too much here. Got a dono from a man, Spread. Do appreciate all the donos, guys. He says, we back, baby, except for the race number 12. Yeah, he's looked strong this weekend, too. We know he looked strong in the first dual race. Pit crew kind of sold him a couple spots, and then his teammate Joey won it, but yeah, hopefully we can see something from Blaney today. I don't have much, so they kind of suck for DFS. It would be cool to see Blaney win the 500, but for DFS purposes, I kind of don't need that to happen. Because basically what I did is, whatever his winning percentage was in the Sims, I put him as my max exposure, because if Blaney does not win, he's probably not going to be optimal. Bridgeline says, this is my first race. Any advice? I've been watching your videos, content. I've learned a lot. I appreciate you being here, man. Hopefully I've been to have some help. Now, for the record, this race is insane. So do not think, if you're going to keep playing going forward, do not think this is how it is every single week. This is basically the lottery. But really, the only advice I'd have is, as far as lineups are concerned, is take the driver starting in the back. I don't mean you have to play like 35th or 40th, but you're mainly going to want to stick the driver starting in the back because they have the most upside and the highest floor as well. I mean, there's really no downside to playing drivers in the back because there's going to be wrecks at Daytona. It's not going to go green. I mean, it just doesn't happen. But yeah, hope you enjoy being here. Got another dono from, let's see who that is. $1 Million Sean, got to shout him out. So we had the Millie Maker today. Last year's Millie Maker, Sean Traylor, he won it. Took down the Millie by himself, and I think he had 3 lineups inside the top 10. So if you ever need any questions, besides just from me, Sean's a good guy to hit up. But yeah, hopefully we can go back to back. That'd be sweet. But he says, good luck everyone. Hope you all smash. Pennell is the best for all sports. Don't forget to like the video. Appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate you. Got another dono from man Doug. Appreciate the dono, man. Thoughts on Briscoe, Haley, Eric Jones for cash plus your core. So I like all the drivers you mentioned, but I don't think I'm going to go Haley and Eric Jones in cash games. They're just starting a little bit further up. Like for cash, I'm starting with Kyle Busch. I'm starting with Jimmy Johnson. I want Ty Dillon in there as well. And then guys like Briscoe is fine. Who else am I missing? Like a Ricky Stenhouse. I think he's fine for cash as well. You can even look at Travis Pastrana, Ty Gibbs. I'm really just sticking to those kind of guys. Haley and Eric Jones, while they're good plays, more so for tournaments for me instead of cash, just because Eric Jones is kind of starting mid-pack, and then Haley's not really, but he's still inside the top 30. But do appreciate the dono, though. Hopefully that helped. John says, Chris, are you allergic to combs? A little bit. I don't even think I have a comb. But yeah, we got the messy look going. Kryptonian says it's time. It sure is. It sure is. Let me check the contest as well really quick to see if we're doing any damage on that. Yeah, so if you're just now getting here, if you head over to my Twitter, or there's a link in the chat somewhere to join the DraftKings contest. I can't find it myself at the moment, but there should still be plenty of spots open if you guys want to come in and join. Milan says, how much do you like Chase Briscoe? I like him a lot. I have over 30% exposure, I think. Yeah, I'm sitting just over 30% on Chase Briscoe. He's definitely one of my favorites to use. Hippopotamus says, you think there will be a lot of overlay in the 25, or is that thing really going to fill in the last hours? I mean, there's probably going to be a decent amount. I'm sure DraftKings is going to push a ton of promo to get you in there so they're not losing money. But, I mean, obviously a lot of the 150 maxers are just going to join in late, so it might fill quicker. But I don't think we're going to see that filled. Albert says, in a cheap 20 max, I'm planning on going all in with Kyle Busch. I understand the ownership issue. Who would you recommend to pick as some contrarian plays to go along with Busch? So yeah, if you're going all in on Kyle Busch, you're obviously eating a ton of ownership. So I'd probably try to avoid Jimmy Johnson at that point. You can play him in some lineups for sure, but I'd try to go underweight on Jimmy Johnson if you're going all in on Kyle Busch. And then instead of playing guys like Jimmy Johnson, you can play Riley Herbst, Ty Dillon, Cody Ware, Haley, Jones, those kind of guys, just getting off the major chalk. Like I wouldn't play Hamlin, Byron, Chastain very much just because you're already eating a ton of ownership, if that makes sense. So just try to go with the lesser names starting in the back. Like Haley and Allmendinger, they're going to be much lower owned than guys like Reddick and Austin Dillon, for example. What's up, Neil? Good morning. Happy race day. Who are the top 3 for single entry DraftKings? If I'm building a single entry, I'm probably fading one or both of Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson just to try to give myself an edge there if one happens to wreck. Great. Don't think I don't like them. They're the best plays. They are the best plays. I'm just talking from an ownership perspective. I'm probably going to throw in like a Eric Jones and Haley, something like that, just to try to get off of some of the chalk. Eric says, the Black Rifle Coffee, Travis Pastrana. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be overweight on Pastrana today, so I'm rooting for him, that's for sure. A little nervous, though. Chris says, thoughts on this cash lineup? Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, Haley, and Ty Dillon or Pastrana. I'd go with Ty Dillon over Pastrana, but personally for me, I wouldn't play Hamlin in cash. He's just starting too far up for me. I think a lot of people make that mistake. Like, yes, it can work out for sure, but there's a lot of risk this rostering a big-name driver starting mid-pack. I think it was last Daytona 500 last year. Joey Logano was starting like 20th or 22nd, and he was really high owned in cash. I want to say around 50%. And yeah, it looked great for a while, but then he ends up crashing, and those lineups are not dead necessarily at the ownership, but it's not great for you. So I wouldn't go that high. I don't think you need to do that. Jeff says, today the rules don't apply. 2 crashes and the 80% of the field is gone. That is certainly true, Jeff. It is it's a dangerous game out there today. Just a game of survival. Hope your bingo cards have something left at the end. Sniper says, BJ McLeod is such a bum. Oh, we're not here for the BJ McLeod slander, are we? Anthony says, dude, so pumped for today. Me too. Let's go to Daytona. Goal for the day, leave as much money on the table as possible. Also win the million. Those are some good goals. Those are some good goals for sure. Hopefully someone here can win the million today. Nice to go back-to-back years on that. Number 1 Stunner says, I love racing. Hey, me too. Me too. Kevin Lane says, good morning from Southwest Florida. I'm right there with you, Kevin. Right there in Fort Myers, so maybe we're close. Breezy says, think Bowman will rack up the lap sled. I mean, he might, but it's not going to mean anything at the end. I mean, lap sled don't mean anything today. Spread says, looking for that 6-pick special. You know how it is. Liker says, how are you going to feel seeing Harrison Burton in victory lane today? I wouldn't feel terrible. I have 6% Harrison Burton today, which is kind of right around where I'm projecting his ownership to be. So I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world for me, I guess. But I don't think it's going to happen either. QYB says, I need a winner, bro. Who you got for NASCAR? I want to make 3 $10 bets. Give me your 3 best guys for. If you're betting on winners today, good luck, man. Good luck. You have a better chance of just spinning a wheel and landing on picking whoever it just lands on. I have absolutely 0 leverage on my betting sheet here. Like, I'll tell you, like the worst bet's Kyle Larson as the favorite. That's by far the worst leverage here. But outside of that, I am getting a 0.5% as the best bet to win. And that's Kevin Harvick, 0.5%. I got nothing here. Now, if you want my 3 projected highest, it's Joey Logano, Blaney, and Hamlin, but I guess that's what I would say. But again, this is a very random race. Hunter says, what percentage are you going with Kyle and Jimmy? So I'm sitting at like 45 on Kyle Busch. I'm projecting to be over 50% owned, so being a little bit underweight there, nothing too crazy. But I didn't want to be overweight and I didn't want to be even. So I'm going a little bit underweight there. And for Jimmie Johnson, I'm sitting in the mid-30s, which I think he can approach over 40%. Because a lot of casuals are going to pick Jimmie Johnson for sure. He's a good play. But I want to be underweight there. So looking at around 40 and around 30 for those guys. QYB says I want to turn $10 into $100. Again, it's a very tough race to predict a winner. Like, if someone tells you they know who's going to win today, they're lying to you right now. I'm being honest. Like, you just can't do it. I mean, my highest win percentage, like I said, is Joey, Blaney, and Hamlin. But in my projections, the winner for me is projected to finish 12.68. Like, that just goes to show you the randomness. Like, I know a lot of people do. I watched a couple of things. Some people have people projected to finish exactly in first place. You can't do that at a track like that. It just doesn't work like that. Like, my winner is projected to finish around 12th place. And it just goes down from there. And, like, I have everyone on a spectrum of finishing around 12th and a half to 26. Well, daily, I got a little bit lower at 28, 28.8. You just can't have, like, a projection of 1, 2, 3, 4. This is too random. You have to factor that into your projections. What's the minimum score to cash? It would change just depending on how the race goes. Really, there's no minimum. Randy says, who is your... It also depends on how the chalk does as well. Like, if the chalk busts, the scores to cash are going to be lower. Randy says, who is your favorite to win the race? Logano, Blaney just won the two Penske cars. Do I expect them to win? No, but they have the highest probability of winning according to the model. So, but it's not an expectation. Number one stunner says my core is Blaney with Logano and sprinkle my brother Wallace in. It's risky. Like I said, I rostering anyone in the top 10 here, no matter what the name is, it's extremely risky. Like, they absolutely have to win the race, pretty much, and it just the chances of that happening are very slim. Like, my best win percentage here is 6% at Joey Logano. So I think in DFS that kind of translates to me playing around 4 to 5%. Because even if he wins, it's no guarantees in the optimal unless he leads like 100 laps. But even then, the chances of that happening are very slim. It's basically just a big math game today, really. Steve says, do you think Bowman has as good of a car as he thinks he has? How many laps led and fast laps does he have? For Bowman to be optimal today, I mean, I've seen the pole setter win the race before at Daytona and he still wasn't optimal. Like, it's extremely hard for like, it just doesn't happen. So I have 0% Alex Bowman. I have 0% Kyle Larson. And I feel pretty good about that. I mean, Bowman, sure, he's probably got a fast car, but, you know, Hendrick tends to sell out for the qualifying trim. I just don't really... I have no interest there. Whether he has a good car or not doesn't matter, especially if he gets wrecked. Like, Bowman, for him to be optimal today, he has to lead like half the race and win, and the chances of that happening are already extremely low. He's got so much working against him. So, and his chances of winning in my model here, like right at 5%. Vegas has his implied odds of winning at 4.8%. So even then, like, I couldn't justify having even more than 2% Alex Bowman there. Coach, I can't answer that question. Don't angry face me. But Timmy. Let's see. How popular is the core build of Kyle Busch, JJ, and Hamlin? I mean, it's going to be very popular today. I think those are my 3 highest owned projected drive. Not personally mine, but I think those are my 3 highest projected owned. A lot of people go that route because if you're just looking at DraftKings, I mean, Hamlin's going to pop up near the top. They're going to click his name. Kyle Busch is right there. And then they're going to see Jimmie Johnson. So, yeah, it's going to be really high owned. I mean, Hamlin, yes, amazing at Daytona. No doubt about that. But it'd be hard to justify playing a ton of him starting mid-pack. And for those of you getting here, if you can do me one small thing in return, let's leave a like on the stream. Do appreciate that. Let's see, what kind of bets am I? I don't live in a legal state. Now, I might hit up a friend to put a couple in for me. But I was looking at some head-to-heads. But as far as outright winners or anything like this on a race like that, I kind of hate it. I mean, taking plus odds on any driver head-to-head is not a bad route to go on a super speedway. But, I mean, I'm just not seeing much I like on a track like this. It's really just a lottery ticket. Now, next week, we're on a more predictable track. That's when I think we'll have a bigger edge. But as far as betting is concerned, I mean, there's just not much. Like, even the props this weekend are not that great. But I was looking at a couple in the FanDuel Sportsbook. Like, I think there was a, if I can find it. Yeah, like Chase Elliott versus Kyle Larson. I kind of like taking Chase Elliott over Kyle Larson for a head-to-head. But outside of that, I wasn't seeing a ton of value. And also a driver to not win 2 stages, but I believe that's minus 280 now. So you're kind of not getting a ton there as far as value. What's up, Lost Profit? How you feeling about Priest? He's kind of in a dead zone where it's just hard to get to too much of him. I mean, I have a handful of percentages, but that's about it. I mean, I don't have a strong lean on Ryan Priest. He's in a very weird spot. Kevin says, Dinger and the Melon Man today. I got a decent amount of both. I mean, Ross Chastain, William Byron, 2 very similar plays today. Have race winning upside starting mid-pack. Risky, yes, because they're mid-pack, but they do project out pretty well for me. I have lineups with over 15,000 left. That's fine. That is perfectly fine today. Super speedways, you can do that. Yep, 200 laps. Sniper says just pull a slot machine. That's what Daytona is. Pretty much is. And the only way you can set yourself up for success here is just trying to predict what the field's going to do and then going your own route with that and try to give yourself an edge. I mean, you just can't predict the winner here. I mean, you can try, but I mean, you know how it is. Hippo says, what if it is a tie between the ties? How do you choose? Just kidding. Ty Dillon's probably safer. I don't really think he's going to challenge too much to the front. So I'd say he's probably a little bit safer. I'm playing both in cash though. Martin Truex versus Chase Briscoe. I'd probably take Truex in that one. As far as like finishing position, if that's what you're asking. Demetrius says, any prize picks? I did like some, although I'll tell you right now, the one got bet down. I liked, as soon as the lines dropped, I had Ricky Stenhouse as my highest leverage there. He was sitting at 43.5 on his projection. I like the under. It's now down to 39.5, which I still like the under projection-wise, but at this point for Daytona, it's within a range where I don't feel too confident about it. And then I didn't mind the Ryan Blaney over 15.5 laps led. I think one of the 2 Penske cars are going to lead a chunk of this race. So either him or Joey Logano, really. Burton today, GPP. Yeah, he's fine for tournaments. I don't have a lot, but for where he's starting, I mean, we know he can work with Team Penske, which is always a plus. Hunter says, I have 20.8K on the table. That's fine. That's fine. Perfectly fine today. Chase says, hey, other CP, what's up, man? Nice to see you here, Chase. Nate says, I thought we'd get a lineup. I'm not going to give out lineups here. You guys can do your own work on that, but I give you here all the information I got. Nate says, I'm running Dinger's ownership. Oh, running Dinger's ownership up. I like him today. I mean, I think he's going to be a little bit under-owned for where he's starting, just because of the names. Birch says, when I put my lineups in the optimizer, it was low. When I switched 2 people and it went up like 50 points. Yeah, I mean, depending on who you took in or took out, it can definitely make a big difference for sure. Justin says, what's up, my fellow Floridian? What's up, man? Excited for NASCAR season. Yeah, can't wait. Should be a good one. Hopefully enjoy the weather today. It looks pretty nice out. Jason says, you like a Hamlin top 3? I mean, projection-wise, I got him finishing 3rd, but I don't think I could project. I don't think I could bet on anyone to finish in the top 3 today. Like, yes, I have Hamlin projected to finish 3rd, but at the same time, that projected finish is 12.97. So, I mean, you know, it's just, I don't love betting on that stuff today. Jim says, how you feel about Bell? Play or fade? I would fade. Just starting too high for me. Jorge says, how is Logano looking for you today in 150 lineups? I think I have 4%. Let me check. It's not a lot. Yeah, I have 4% Joey Logano. And even that might be a little bit too much, but in case he wins and leads a good chunk of laps, I wanted him in there, but I have a tough time playing anyone in the top 5, no matter what their name is. Chase says, Yabba Dabba Yee, other CP. I liked it. I like it. Appreciate the plug there, Spreader. Yeah, got the Patreon over there. Got a couple hundred people. Tons of content over there. Projections, models, simulation scores. Basically all the stuff I reference every single day. So, optimize ownership projections, Discord, which is awesome. We're in there 24/7. If you guys ever want to hop in. Avery says, thoughts on Gibbs? I like him today, starting all the way back, 33rd. I mean, the upside is clearly there. It's just a matter of avoiding wrecks, really. But yeah, he's definitely one of the better projection plays. Natalie says, loving Kyle Busch for the win. Love that car. I mean, he could. I'm expecting some pretty big things from Kyle Busch this year in the 8 car. And I think it looks pretty good on him as well, but I mean, we'll see. GM says, Blaney, pivot for Hamlin and GPP, Elliott or Blaney. If I had to pick between the two, I would go with Blaney. Do trust the Ford there a little bit more, but still, I think guys like Blaney and Elliott are going to be a little bit overowned for where they're starting for sure. Eric says NHL is on Tuesday. I know you love your hockey, but yeah, I've never watched a hockey game. I take that back. I went to a hockey game once. Andy says, I had a dream Kyle Busch punched me in the face, but it was his own face. He was punching. It was beautiful. I'm not sure to take that, Andy, but I like it. We know you love Kyle Busch. Anthony says, do you have any lineups with no one over 6,100? I mean, I don't know. I don't really look at the specific lineups because I have my rules and everything, so I know the lineups fit my criteria, but I'd have to look. If I could find my lowest used salary lineup, I can check. I just found one with the highest driver is 74. Found one with 69 is the highest. I mean, there might be one that's in there. Eric said that division on Tuesday that Kyle Busch won. Kyle Busch wins. I mean, yeah, he's the best play on the slate, but it's going to be some chalky hand holding up there. Bridge says, I think I'm going to win just because I'm new. Hey, beginner's luck's the thing, man. Seems like it anyway. Just got an alert that says my bit rate is a little bit lower. Well, hopefully the stream's all right. It seems like it's fine. We got a little bit over 350 people here. Do appreciate y'all being here on your Sunday. And we'll go as long as you guys have questions. So I'm in no hurry to do anything, really. Yeah, it sure has been a minute, Chase. Nice to see you, though. Salson says, and spread, this is the business. Sure is. Corey says, is Chastain a good play? Yeah, he's fine for tournaments. Wouldn't go there in cash games, though. Just know the ownership's probably going to be a little bit high for a guy starting mid-pack. But I do like him. David says, ownership on Logano, LaJoy, Brad, and Gilliland. Not much. Not much on LaJoy and Gilliland at all. Brad, I think like 5 to 10%, somewhere in that range. And then I've mentioned Joey a couple times. So Suarez will win today? Whew, I don't know about that. We'll see. He doesn't have the best track record at Daytona, though. I got Logano, Blaney, Briscoe, a cat called Smith, a man Wallace, and Storehouse. What you think? I mean, I don't think I'd roster 2 drivers inside the top 10. But it's a little top heavy. I'll say that, a little top heavy. Sniper says spread pain to flex his wrench. I know. That's what he does. Robbie says, is it okay to have over 8K left on FanDuel after my roster is completed? Yeah. I don't care what kind of money you have left on the table today. That's perfectly fine. And speaking of that, I need to build my FanDuel lineups. I should probably pull up FanDuel and just look at some builds here. And they didn't post my favorite contest this week. They usually have a $2, 22 cent, 150 max. The payout's pretty good. I took it down a couple times last year, but they didn't post it this week, which was very upset. It's the biggest. I don't know what they're doing. They made it a 20 max, and I think it filled last night. So shame on them. FanDuel, if you're watching this, you need to make that a 150 max again, because that was upsetting. But yeah, like if I go to build a FanDuel lineup right now, let's just say you're eating the chalk on Kyle Busch starting at 36. You play like a Ross. You scroll down, you play a Briscoe. I'm just looking for an example here on what kind of salaries left over. You go with Jimmy. Then say you play like a Ty Dillon. That leaves me 13.3 left on the table. So yeah, leaving money on FanDuel is perfectly fine. Oh, let's see. Bull says, it's race day, fellas. Let's make this bread. Let's do it. Let's do it. Dwayne says, time to scratch the lottery ticket. You know it. That's all it is today. I mean, we can set ourselves up for success, like I said, following simple rules, roster construction, things like that. But just kind of have to hope they avoid the wrecks by the end of the day, really. Chris says, any love for Gillen? Not really. Not really. It's just for where he's starting, pretty much. What's up, Easy? Good morning and good luck. Good morning and good luck to you as well. Landress says, another year of NASCAR DFS, another year of getting spam notifications from Rhino 20. Everyone in my Discord was talking about that. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Maybe he's in here. I don't know. Might not even be real, huh? I think that's anyone's guess. Michael says, what do you think about Michael McDowell starting at 11th? I have 2% maybe. I'm just starting too high for me, really. Bridge says, I'm glad I don't know any of these guys. I'm not biased. I'm just trying to play the best plays. Yeah, and that's one thing that helps in new sports where a lot of people develop biases. If they know a sport, love a sport, and they kind of get stuck in those. But if you're brand new to a sport and you're not like a fan of anybody, it's pretty easy to build some good lineups, especially for tournaments, because you don't have a bias. So, yeah, you certainly do have that working in your favor. Jason says, something telling me Kyle Busch is there in the end. Could be. I mean, I have no idea. I wish I knew. Head Hunting says, how much Larson? I got none. No Larson for me today. Him and Alex Bowman are, I mean, worst plays on the slate pretty much. People are going to play them, and it just, historically speaking, it will not work out. Got a dono from my man Tito here. Says, rest in peace. Oh, I can tell that was a first. Yeah. Rest in peace to the parrot. Are we talking about we're talking about Sniper? Probably pretty far behind in the chat, so maybe I'm missing something. Appreciate the dono. Appreciate the dono, though, Tito. Yeah, I know Coach will love this one, but we'll see on Warzone later tonight. It's Eric, not Eric there, Doug. Respect the K. Any Burton love? Tiny bit. Not much, though. Triple G says, single entry, what one driver to fade? I mean, if you're giving me any driver to fade, it would be like Bowman or Larson. But if you mean like from a chalky driver, I'd probably pick one of Kyle Busch or Jimmy Johnson to fade just to try to get some leverage on yourself. Jared says, late to the party, but happy to be here. What's up, Jared? Nice to see you. Good luck to everyone this season. Yeah, good luck to you guys as well. Hoping for a good... It's been a good start so far. The duels went pretty well. Especially duel 1 with Blaney and Logano being the two main guys there. Dimitri says, when you say 0 to 2 drivers in the other groups, what do you mean 0 to 2? So if you set up a group in the optimizer to get, for example, from drivers starting 1st through 12th, which if you look at the grid order, you know what I mean? From 0 to 2 drivers, so it's going to spit out either 0, 1, or 2 drivers starting within that range, because I don't want it to go over 2 because it's just being too heavy in the front. A lot of times it will be 0, but it's within that range. Like you want it bouncing between that range and the optimizer spits out lineups. That makes sense. Jack says, get you a girl that loves you as much as the taxman loves Sean. Yeah, Sean, he's going to be best friends with that taxman because he just won $75K in NBA like last week. So even more taxes. Spread says sheer odds of going back-to-back in the middle would make Sean the greatest DFS drafter ever. I'm here. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That'd be awesome. It really would. What uniques and exposures? I don't really mess with the uniques too much, but exposures, that's going to be personal preference, really. Like, I can't really tell you what to play for exposures. My highest owned guy is 45% today, though. And that's not usually how I do it going forward. if we're going to have drivers where I'm over like 60% taking a stance on, but for a race like this, I don't think being over 40, 50% on anyone makes a lot of sense. Dustin says Denny seems to be in a good spot. He is, which is going to lead to higher ownership, which is always going to be concerned here for tournaments. But, I mean, yeah, he's one of my highest projected drivers. But Corey says, I joined Stochastic Premium this month. Hopefully the tools can help me win some money. Hope so. I don't have anything to do with those, but hopefully they can do you well. Michael says, me and Nate are trying to boost AJ. You guys loading up on him? Number one Stunner says, who is this Sean? Sean in our chat here in my Discord. He won the Millie Maker last year for Daytona. Eric says, Bubba Wallace doesn't lift and sports. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Bubba win today. It'd be fun. And I'm not just saying that because I'm overweight on him. Maybe I am. But I do like Bubba today. Just really good at Daytona. Got a dono here from my man Mark. Mark Bright Enterprises Private. Might have done a little promo there for you, so hopefully I did. But it says, Chris, I play other sports, but I am new to NASCAR. Thanks for the insight. Good stuff. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully I stick around. Be more than happy to help you out. But always a good time here doing live streams and stuff. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you for being here. Get another donor from a man Tito here. You know I'm not good with technology, and the Opto is kicking my butt. Yeah, we're probably going to have a long hour session in the voice chat and Discord, aren't we, after this? I'll just have to keep extending this so I don't have to do that with you. But thanks for the dono again. What do you think about Daniel Suarez for cash? Starting too high for me to be in cash. I have some in tournaments, but I think in cash games he's just starting a little bit too high. Was he 24th, I believe? Sorry, just look at my phone. Okay. Michael says he has 0 Larson and that might be too much. It might be. Do you think Busch's car is 100%? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what their car is going to be. Like, Busch is going to be fine. Kevin says, thoughts on Dinger in tournaments? I like him. I think he's going to be a little bit underowned. So I'm fine with him. 325 in here so far, yeah. Yeah, hopefully we can hit 400. We'll check what we got. We're at 386. We're close to 400. We're close. Have to try to beat what we got for the Clash. I'm sure there's other people doing shows right now too, though. So I'm trying to do in the Millie Maker? Yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be nice. Jesse says, is Blaney worth the start? Probably going to be highly owned. Yeah, I think Blaney's going to be like around, probably going to bounce around that 15 to 20% owned range, which it's too high for a driver starting that far to the front. I mean, I like Blaney at Daytona, obviously. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins, but I mean, the odds just aren't in your favor. Hippo says, out of the drivers starting in the back, Ware and Daly are the only two I'm not rostering, and I'm low on McLeod. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I have like 1% Daly. I don't think that car is going to make it the entire way, though. I really don't. Ware, I think, is fine to play. I have a decent amount of Ware. It's not double digits, but it's close to it. In McLeod, I'm pretty low on just for where he's starting. Nick Papa Giorgio, I love that name. I always love when you show up. What is your max exposure setting on your optimizer? I didn't set a max, but the highest I got to was 45%. Another dono here. Appreciate you guys. Brian says, can't wait for MLB. Go Ware and Herbs. I know you love MLB. I love it too. We'll see if I do videos this year on that, but obviously I'll have the spreadsheets and stuff every day. But yeah, can't wait. Love my baseball throughout the week. Keeps us entertained until NASCAR's on the weekend. Yeah, welcome back, PMJ. Good to see everyone. It's like a family reunion. I'm doing 40 entries on DK. Hope they smash, sir. Jack says, Chris, is it possible if you could pull up last year's optimal lineup? If it's not too much trouble, please. I can't find it anywhere. It's cool if you don't want to. If it's a big ask and irrelevant. I mean, it's probably a little irrelevant, to be honest. I used to have it on my sheet, and I was going to copy paste them over to this year, but I think I deleted it on accident because I made the new thing for 2023. And I just don't really think it's that important to look at. But I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like Cole Custer, Bubba Wallace, Keselowski, David Reagan, and I forget the other two, but I'm pretty sure those 4 were in it. I don't have it right offhand. But it's just not something that I think matters too much, because I think some people get caught up in looking at the exact the exact starting positions of those drivers, and it's just like, I don't want people to get caught up in noisy stats like that. But yeah, Gabe says it's in Sean's bank account. Yes, it is in Sean's bank account. Playing one lineup, feeling a little bit risky. Yeah, if you're playing one lineup in the millie today, you got to go rogue pretty much. You got to go nuts. Reserving the Rainbow Warrior. Got another dono from Convicted. Appreciate you being here. Wallace, Bush, Byron, Johnson, Allmendinger, Stenhouse, GPP. What you think? Tuned in late. I don't think that's bad at all. I mean, Wallace starting a little bit closer to the front, but again, he has race winning upside. Bush, obviously in the back, fine. Jimmy Johnson in the back, Dinger's in the back, Stenhouse is in the back, and Byron kind of in that Bubba range where there's some risk there, but he's got top 5 upside if he can stay clean. So I think that's fine for tournaments. Just, you got to be careful with guys like Wallace and Byron, because they don't offer you as much place differential upside. But they do have race winning upside, which is fine for tournaments, like I said. And you can cash today, guys, if you have guys wrecked out. Like, your day is not over if you have a wreck. I've cashed Daytona 500 lineups if I had like 3 guys out before, so don't get too upset. Because let's just say, for example, your roster, Jimmy Johnson, he wrecks out pretty early, and you're sitting with like 1 point or something like that. I don't know what the exact number would be. I mean, Bowman can still crash out and get you negative 30, and you can outscore those guys. Larson with like a negative 24. So your day's not over. You're still outscoring those guys by like 30 points. So something to be mindful of. Who are the best range, short, and race crew chiefs? I don't have data on that. I'm not gonna lie and say I know that. Sorry, I just don't think it's relevant for DFS purposes. If someone can find data on that, I mean, by all means, let me know. But I just don't think that's gonna be really something we could quantify. Ronnie says, I believe last year's optimal was all scrubs. The second Daytona was, that's when everyone wrecked. But besides Austin Dillon, he won the race. He's not a scrub, but everyone else was scrubs pretty much. The first one, there was a couple of drivers that weren't, obviously. Zach says, go Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, it'd be cool to see him do well, for sure. Over under on Rex? A lot. Ford is going to smash today. I mean, they've looked good. They've certainly looked good. Just a matter of staying alive till the end, really. Ryan says, who's highest owned back of the field guys? If you just mean strictly starting position. Let me pull up the... I mean, the highest owned guys in the back I have are Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon. If you mean like scrubs, and Ty Gibbs as well. Ty Dillon would probably be the highest like scrub driver in the back. I lost my spot. Okay. Nate says, Chris, just a quick question. I don't think you're into much betting in Florida. Yeah, unfortunately can't. I keep up with it, and I have like models for it, but I mean, I just unfortunately can't here in Florida. But is it just me, or is Austin Dillon at plus 20,000 on FanDuel to win it all this year? Just crazy high. Oh, to win the championship? Ooh, I personally can't see it happening. Like, maybe there's some slight value there, but I feel like it's a donation, really. I mean, we could have a Ross Chastain surprise again this year, but I just have a hard time not seeing like Kyle Busch getting all the goods there. Spread says, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, hopefully we can get over 200 likes on the stream. That'd be sweet. I think we have close to 400. All right, we got 430 here. Appreciate y'all rocking in. If we can get over 200 likes, that'd be awesome. And I don't love the props over on Prize Picks this week. Underdog is offering a ton. But if you are a new user over there, if you use promo code CPEN, you can get an instant deposit match bonus up to $100. And it's fun to play on. I love it each and every single week. And I feel like Prize Picks has posted some pretty bad lines so far to start the season. They had some for the duels that were rough and for the Clash. Daytona, a little bit better because it's kind of hard to project how this race will go. So I'm not really too heavy on the props this week. But I thought their Stenhouse line when it opened was pretty bad, and they got bet down 4 points. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, here would Prize Picks an underdog. And it's what I kind of have to use because I can't bet in Florida like on a sports book. So it's kind of a way around it because it's kind of like betting and DFS and betting combined. Who is driving the Ford cars new? What do you mean by that? Sato says, Bush, Briscoe, and Ware failed attack. Bush passed through second time. Yeah, I don't care if anyone goes to the rear today. But I do appreciate you guys updating me for sure. Glenn says, tomorrow is a holiday, brother. Is it? What is tomorrow? What holiday is in February? Yeah, I've got no idea. Oliver says, Austin Dillon Gibbs or Ty Dillon Reddick for cash? Whew. I mean, I'd probably just go Ty Dillon and Ty Gibbs there. Not really the question you asked, but that's what I would go with. Brad the lad from the Triad. Are you playing a full punt lineup like McLeod, Ware, and others? I don't think I have a full punt. It's close to it. Close to it. I mean, you can. I have no issue with that. No issue with that at all. Life of Jordan says, what's good, bro? What's up, man? Cheers to another great season. Yep, cheers. Hopefully all goes well. Hopefully all goes well. We got a year of data in the next gen car. Hopefully teams have figured out some of the issues we had. Like a lot of times last season, just blown tires and stuff you just can't account for. It just absolutely kills your day. It sucked. Happened a lot of times. Just blown tires, that's what you can do. I mean, fastest cars a lot of times are the ones that have the most problems. Suck. It's like you were getting punished for playing the good plays. Timothy says FanDuel is learning about overlay with NFL. Dropped their first prize from $1 million, pairing back on all sports. Yeah, I mean, FanDuel, some of the contests just aren't. Contests in general aren't that great over on FanDuel. But there's a few I like that I think you take advantage of. And I don't know why. It just seems like FanDuel's, the field isn't as strong. Glenn says, do you take Dylan number 2 as a cheap guy to fill out your 6? Yeah. If you mean Ty Dillon, for sure. I like Ty Dillon a lot. He's one of my highest on drivers today. I love him starting all the way back in 37th. Burton, there's a lot of Harrison Burton love in here. I'm surprised. Just a weird driver for everyone to like. I'm not against it. It's just odd. What Ford drivers you like here? I mean, all the Fords, I guess, are fine. I'm not specifically rostering a driver because they're a Ford, though. But like Briscoe in the back, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me too much. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the race, I mean, they don't care who their teammates are. They don't care what manufacturer they are. I mean, they're just going out to win at the end. Doug says top fades 25th and back. Let's see, top fades 25th and back. Let me just see who has the worst leverage on the 25th and back range. I mean, most of them have positive leverage, but the only ones that are getting negative are Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson. And I'm not saying they're bad play, and Ricky Stenhouse. They're not bad plays. It's just they're being a little bit overowned. That's all. All right. I think my YouTube thing's breaking because it keeps saying I'm going to like 400 people to 270 all of a sudden. So I don't know. But we did get over 200 likes, so I do appreciate that. Sorry, I lost my spot. Hold on. Lost my spot. Oh man, I am so behind. Jeez. Okay, Jeffrey says, hope to follow up for my 7,500 win on the truck race. That's awesome, Jeffrey. It's awesome. Got skunked in the Xfinity though. Well, hey, hopefully you can. That's great. Ryan says, Jimmy Johnson. I like Jimmy Johnson. Just a little bit overowned today, I think. Andrew says, Priest in my single bullet FanDuel with over 8K left over. It's going to be different. I don't think a lot of people at all are going to play Ryan Priest. What's a good total ownership for a single entry lineup for GPP? I mean, I guess I don't really know the specific for a single entry tournament. I mean, I'm looking at some of my, let me look at my average ownership if I have that. Okay, so my average ownership in 150 builds is 135%. My lowest owned is 67% total, and my highest is 196. Just looking at the optimizer, it tells you the statistics on that. So, I mean, if you're getting close to 200%, it's going to be really chalky. I would say you probably want to be around the median, if not a little bit lower, at 135. But again, it just, I have to see the lineup really. Move says everyone is advising to throw darts across the industry. No one is sure, no confidence in who will finish the top 5. I mean, that's good. I mean, if people are telling you they have confidence in a driver finishing the top 5, they're just lying to you. So, I mean, it's better to say, I don't know, than try to give out false info. In my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that, but sometimes it's better to say, you know what? I don't know. I don't want to give you info just to give you info that I don't necessarily believe in. Brandon says, hey, Chris, is it okay for me to leave 3,000 on the table? Yeah, I've got like almost 20K on the table in some lineups. Dinger or Ty Dillon? I prefer Ty Dillon. Mr. Pillowpants says, heck yeah, boys, we back. One of us won the millie. I hope so. I hope so. We need to go back to back on that. Braden says, Bubba or Ricky? I have more standouts than Bubba today. If you're picking me who's going to finish better, I would say Bubba, but... Oh, got a dono from my man Tito. Sorry, I didn't show up for some reason. I don't know why. Says, Joey, over under 5.5 fast laps. You can't project fast laps here. It's completely random. So, I mean, if I told you over under, I would just be guessing. So, I don't know. Like, projection-wise, it's just, again, it's random. Let me see what I have them at. I have them at 6.91, but again, it's completely random for fast laps. This week it is. Timothy says, my son's brewery just expanded into Florida. It's awesome. Congrats. Look for Jones Beach Brewery, company by you if you need beer. Well, thank you, Timothy. I don't drink, but if anyone else does, you can look for that. I know we got a lot of Florida people in here. Andrew says, I live in Fort Myers. Let's go. Hey, right there with you, Andrew. Single bullet on FanDuel, 100K. Yeah. Hopefully you take it down. Appreciate that spread. Michael says, cash, I got Pastrana. He's fine for cash. I mean, he's starting dead last. You don't need much. Chris Country, let's ride. Let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome in conscious. It's all right. Better late than never. That's what I say. I'm late every single stream, so can't be mad at anyone to be late. My YouTube studio is like broken. We're bouncing from 450 to 200 people, so I don't think that's accurate. Yeah, Chad, their location, the geolocation thing isn't the best. I'll tell you that. Kenny says, love your brown sticker. You mean, yeah, the poster back there, yeah. They're not fun to watch, but I like them. I'm from Northeast Ohio, so I mean, you know how it is. But constant disappointment. Constant disappointment. First time here this year, Mr. Chris. I missed you too. I love my NASCAR community. You guys are awesome. J. Russ says, any Dominator interest today? No. I mean, if you're looking at the Sims for my top Doms, it's Blaney at 8.1%, Elliott at 7.5%, Logano at 7.3%. But it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day for this kind of a race. Cameron says, smash the like button. Yeah. I think we're over 200 now, which is great. Can Money Mayweather fix the race and win? He can't even fix his car, so I don't think he can fix the race. Like, the car is bad. What's up, Ray Sheets, or better known as Phil? What's up, man? Good morning, my friend. Here's the 2023 question. Is Dinger too spicy for cash or hovering on the borderline? I would say it's a little spicy. I don't want to go that spicy. I mean, I'd rather play Daytona cash. Obviously, Jimmy and Kyle. I'd rather play Gibbs. You're kind of like right on the border with Stenhouse. I'd play Briscoe over him, but Dinger's like right there. It's like, I don't know if I want to go that route. I mean, because you have Pastrana starting, 11 spots further back. So it's a little spicy, I would say. I wouldn't fault you for doing it, but it's like, I feel like the ownership won't be that high in cash either. But nice to see you, Phil. I miss doing our shows back in the day. Ryan says, Chris, you playing any Pastrana? I am. He's actually got some decent positive leverage down here. I mean, I know limited experience in a cup car or next gen for sure. But, I mean, I think he can be close to 15-20% optimal back there if he doesn't wreck out. I mean, anybody can wreck. But I'm hoping he just kind of takes it easy back there and chills. And if there's a big one, gain 10 spots. But he's got a good ride. The equipment's no concern. Bull says, I'm here for a Kyle Busch wreck, riding with my boy Heat and Fade in the chalk. Yeah, I'm underweight on him too. Not by a ton, but I am underweight on Busch. Playing him in cash, obviously, that's like their hedge. But, I mean, if Kyle Busch crashes out early, I'll be happy. No offense to anyone playing Kyle Busch. I'm just playing the ownership game on that. He's a great play. Kyle Busch is an amazing play today. I have him projected 10 points higher than anybody else, which is kind of absurd for a super speedway. It's just purely an ownership perspective for me. He's a great play, though. Convicted says, Byron, Busch, Wallace, Johnson, Allmendinger, Stenhouse for tournaments. Yeah, that looks pretty good. No concerns about that. Joseph says, never watch NASCAR. Why do all the top drivers want to start higher up if they don't typically win because of crashes, or are the back drivers more about DK scoring? It's more so about DK. Like, even if a guy up front wins, does not mean he's going to be a better play than a driver that gains 20 spots in the back. And as far as like winning the race is concerned, I mean, in real life, that's just like luck of the draw and where the starting position is going to come from. And a lot of the drivers like to be up front, but that's where it really gets dicey. And some drivers like to actually ride around in the back. Like we saw Denny Hamlin. I was watching his podcast. What's it called? Actions Detrimental or something like that. He said if he sees certain drivers up front and he's up there, he'll pull out and just go to the back and ride around. I mean, it's a strategy some drivers do. Some guys like to be up front. Like the Penske boys, Blaney, Joey Logano, we usually see them up front. They like to be up there and dominate the race. Some guys don't like to do that until near the end. Just personal preference on some of these guys. And obviously Hendrick Motorsports loves going all out in qualifying trim and getting up front. It doesn't usually work out for them though. Appreciate you, Tom. Thank you for being here. Chad says, I can't figure it out, man. It's happened before, and usually when I go to mobile data. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, DraftKings customer service is by far like the worst of any company ever. It really is. Think Wallace will be high on a GPP? I don't think it'll be crazy because you also have guys like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Blaney, Logano, up in that upper price tier. So I don't think it'll be crazy as far as the ownership is concerned. Thoughts on Haley today? I like him a lot. I think he's one of the better tournament plays down low for sure. Any left for Pastrana? Yes, I do like Pastrana today. It's just a back driver starting the very back at Daytona. If he avoids the first wrecks, he's guaranteed place differential, and he cannot lose you any spots today. If Pastrana was the first guy to wreck out, let me pull up the heat map here. If Pastrana wrecks out first, whoops. I mean, he's getting you, what, like 2 points? I believe I have that set up right. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go, sorry. I had two Ty Dillons in there for some reason. Yeah, so Pastrana wrecks out first, he's getting you like 0-1 points. If, say, a guy like Bubba wrecks out first and he finishes 40th, he's getting a negative 24. So even if, I mean, he's just got such a high floor, and the upside's certainly there if he can just avoid the first wreck. See, we have over 450 people in here watching. Thank you for being here on your Sunday. Jack says, has JJ and Pastrami ever But in the car outside of this weekend, yeah, I mean, they're just kind of getting thrown into the Wild West here. Obviously, you can do sims and things like that, but yeah, it'll be fun. Who is Pastrami? I think they're just making a joke on Pastrana's name. All place differential today? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, with Busch in the back, like backup car doesn't mean anything. I mean, I've seen cars that are held together by duct tape and toothpicks and bubble gum and finish in the top 10 at Daytona. Thoughts on William Byron? I like Byron. I mean, starting mid-pack, he's got the upside. It's just there's risk because he's starting mid-pack, but there's certainly a nice ceiling there too. Thoughts on Cindric and Harvick and Buescher? I don't have much of any. I have under 5% on both Cindric and Buescher. Around 10% on Harvick. It's just they're starting so close to the front. Last line in, Zane Smith, Justin Haley, Martin Truex, Ross Chastain, Bell Wallace, and Denny Hamlin. That's definitely a tournament lineup, but I know he likes to get crazy, so can never fault him for it. Pastrana's going to crash. He shouldn't be racing at this level. He's in over his head, saying in all due respect. We'll see. I mean, he certainly could. I'm hoping he just kind of takes it easy back there. Where are we at? Do I like Eric Jones today in DraftKings single entry? Yeah. Eric Jones is my favorite tournament place today. Pastrami is smoked roast beef? No. Oliver's dad says, are guys starting mid-pack like Byron and Chastain too risky for cash? Yes, in my opinion. Even if the ownership's high, I just can't get there. Ken says, Ty Dillon, Jones, Pastrana, Blaney, Priest, 13K left on FanDuel. I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to like a lineup today as long as it follows the rules of not going too crazy on drivers starting in the front. So, try to go contrarian and stack the top 6. It can't be done. I was playing around with that yesterday. I think it leaves like 400 left over. Any prize picks plays? They kind of, the one I really liked, they got bet down. So, I mean, I don't mind either of the Penske cars over on their lap sled, but I don't have a strong lean on prize picks today, unfortunately. I do apologize. It's just the variance is so high to track like this, I didn't feel too comfortable going crazy on that. But if you want to take some unders on some place differential, it might not be the worst thing to do. Like Kyle Busch is at 20.5. It's kind of steep. I mean, that's what, like a top 15. So Underdog had a couple I liked, although the verbiage was weird on that. And I emailed them because it says like for finishing position, it'll be like 9.5 under or higher or lower. So it was confusing on the words there, but I guess if it's higher, it's outside the top 10, whatever it is. Trying to see if they added anything else, but looks like a couple of things did change. Coach anger faced me. Warzone crew ready. Yeah, I love my Warzone. Love War. I play it every day. Have for like when it come out 2020. That's what it was. Playing like every day for like the past 3 years. Do I play ranked? No, but I do enjoy playing that game a lot. Dex says, how do you feel about playing through drivers from 10th through 20th? It's a bit much. I don't love it. I probably wouldn't do that. Start the race. I want to go fast. Me too. I want to go fast too. It's 12:30. We got about 2.5 hours till the race starts. It's going to be a long 2.5 hours. Craig says, who's projected lowest ownership with the best chance? Like for optimal? Let me pull up the Sims. I mean, as far as like being optimal, a guy like Riley Herbst in the back, starting in 38th, I guess. Cody Ware, low ownership, guys like that. Just says, why do drivers try to qualify? Oh, I think I answered that one. Dave says, what's up, CP? Looking forward to another season. What's up, Dave? DraftKings, GPP, Reddick, or Chastain? Probably go with Reddick there. Close. CB says I had to make another milli maker without Bush just in case he's a trap play. Not a bad way to go about it. Yeah, if you're putting like one lineup today in the milli maker, your best bet's probably just to try to fade Johnson and Bush and hope they wreck. Because a lot of people are going to start lineups with those two. And just by avoiding those two, like, yes, they are amazing plays on paper, right? I'm not saying they're bad plays. I'm just saying they might be bad ownership plays. Yeah, Mass, I'm not really playing the top 6. If I'm playing on 150 max, I have sprinkles of like Logano and Bell inside the top 5. That's it. If I'm playing anything less than a 150 max, I am not playing the top 5 today. See, my mom's here. Good morning, bud. Had a quick minute to see you. Let's go, Logano. Good luck, everyone, and happy race day. Thank you for being here, Mom. Do appreciate it. Wants me to wrench him so I can boot bull. Oh, you wish, Coach. If I gave you the wrench, this whole chat would probably be booted. It'd just be me and you talking. Thoughts on Allmendinger? I like him. Starting in the back. I think it might be a little bit lower owned than he should, so I do like Dinger in tournaments. Top 3 drivers today, like for DFS, for tournaments, for cash, to finish. I just wonder if his car is still good enough after that wreck. Kyle Busch? No, it's not the same anymore. And it doesn't matter anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter. I wonder if there's a bet first driver to wreck. I have not seen one. I'm sure the books would get hammered by Bubba Wallace. Not that he's a bad super speedway driver, but everyone likes to make Bubba Wallace wrecking jokes. Or Ricky Stenhouse. They'd probably get a lot of money on this too. But Bubba's clean at super speedways. He really is. I like him a lot today. Sean is single if any of you do. I gotta read stuff before I say it sometimes. Texas says, good luck to everyone. Thank you, Texas. Mundo says, if it's a clean race, what drivers would you prioritize? It's not going to be a clean race. It might be clean for a while, sure. Like if there's no wrecks, major wrecks by like stage 3, I wouldn't be too surprised. But by the end of the race, there's going to be some wrecks. So I would not build any lineups expecting it just to go green. Boyd says, never bet NASCAR. What is the best app to use? Betting? I'd probably recommend FanDuel, their sports book, if you're betting. But you have to shop around for the best odds. But DraftKings has like nothing posted this week. But FanDuel's got some decent like head-to-heads and other various things you can bet on. But I'd recommend shopping around. I see you got a donut from Man Sniper. I don't know why the 199s aren't showing up. That's weird. Apologize for not mentioning it. Says Chris Austin is Bubba Wallace's biggest fan. That is true. Chris Austin loves Bubba Wallace. But sorry I didn't see your dono. Big Gunner says Mac McClung is the... Was that the dunk contest last night? I didn't watch it. I don't know what I was doing, but I wasn't watching it. Pollen Boat says, Chris, get some sleep. You look tired. Well, you know, I stay up late and I get up early, so that's probably one thing to do with it. But it's all right. 540-ish was amazing. Yeah, it's awesome. Really appreciate everyone being here. Or not 540. We have 450. Oh, you're talking about the dunk contest. I'm stupid. Devin says, thoughts on Briscoe and Cash? Yeah, I'm fine with Briscoe and Cash. He's going to be pretty high owned. What are your thoughts on Austin Dillon today? Like him a lot. Good super speedway driver. He's won at Daytona a couple of times. Just, yeah, good play in the back, really. Just has to avoid wrecks, but if he does, I think he'll be a top 10 contender. De Palma says, all this anti-Larson talk means I need to add some? No, you don't. No, you do not. For Larson to be awful today, he's got to lead a good chunk of the race and win. The chances of that are probably sub 2% for both to happen. So, I just, not worth it in my opinion. Matt says, would you leave the top 6 stars out of your pool? Yep. Conscious says 500 for the 500. You know it. Sarugi says, hello, Chris. This guy here, any back end you like? I like everybody in the back today. I don't really care what your name is. I like it. How many drivers should I be using in the 20 max? I mean, it's not going to be as big of a pool as, say, the 150 max, but I would probably have it pretty spread out for the most part. I think I have exposure to every single driver 150 max besides the front row today. Pretty sure. What's your take on Harvick? Seems to be very quiet around YouTube. It's just the starting spot's weird. I mean, for Harvick to be in the optimal, he's got to come close to winning, or pretty much win. So, I mean, the chances of that happening are not that high. Finish in the top 5, finish top 3. So, probably why he's quiet. Like, he's okay. I have like 10%, 12% in tournaments. That's it. Conscious says Hamilton last year's optimal. Not for the 500. He was really high owned for the 500 too. Like one of the high, I think he was the highest owned driver if I remember correctly. And pretty sure he wrecked out early. He was in a similar spot to Kyle Busch. Not as far back, but close to it. And the ownership was really high. So if he faded to Hamlin, he did well. Hawk says Almirola, Wallace, Custer, generic. Oh, I was like, I'm not playing Almirola today. But yeah, last year's optimal. Appreciate that. Cliff says, is team stacking a valid strategy, assuming maybe there's an equipment edge or teammates helping each other? So I'll tell you, Cliff, during the race, sure, it'll look good. But by the end, they'll wreck each other if they have to. It doesn't matter. Like we've seen where, like back when Keselowski was on Penske, they're pushing each other 1-2 for one of the 500s. So it's when Michael McDowell won. They're running up front. Well, you know, one of them gets turned, racing each other, throwing a block, and I believe Keselowski went into a fireball. So it just, sure, during the race, for the majority of the race, yeah, they can look like a valid strategy, but at the very end, it doesn't matter. Jorge says, so you said there's other shows, that's fine. I'd rather spend time with you. It's definitely my favorite DFS show. Appreciate that, Jorge. I'm just here chilling, answering questions. That's all I'm doing here. This is your guys' time. Hawk says, oh, yeah, that's right, Hemrick. I forgot about Hemrick last year. Sniper says, this is the most people on a live ever? I don't know, what are we at? 467? Not quite. Back during COVID for the Coke 600, I think we had like 550 people in here. It was tough to keep. I can barely keep up now, but yeah, that was getting a little tough. And it was live qualifying, so that was fun. Joseph says, what got you into NASCAR? I've always liked NASCAR growing up. I love Tony Stewart. So I just watched it then. Then I kind of stopped watching it for a while. And then when I saw there was fantasy sports for it when I was like in high school, I got into it again. And I've been playing since. And took down some tournaments. And then I really started to like it. And so, yeah, that's why I like it, I guess. And it's fun. It's a niche sport. And not a lot of people cover it. So it's kind of fun. Just because, you know, everyone does NBA, everyone does NFL. So, yes, I do like Austin Dillon for sure today. Starting in, 27th? Just a good plate racer. And for where he's starting, a lot of place differential upside. Dwayne says just about $40 on where to win if he cashes on 20K richer. Oh, I mean, I don't think that'll happen, but I'll root for Cody Ware just for you. Bubba or Ham on last pick. Bubba's going to be lower owned, so I would just say Bubba. Very similar plays there, and they'll probably work together. I mean, Jimmy says a spotter is crucial at Daytona. Well, yeah, definitely a spotter at Daytona, that's for sure. Travis says, do you get your data from driver averages? I do not. I mean, you can scrape around some data at various sites, but it's what you can do with the data to make it predictive data after that. But no, I don't use driver averages. Comment God says, submit 2 lineups and use a different guy for each. Oh, he's talking to someone else. Joshua says stack the front guys. Oh yeah, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, cash locks today for sure. If you're just here, that's a joke. Please don't do that. Opie says, hey Chris, what's good? What's up, man? Nice to have you here. Tyler says, I got Hamlin, Busch, Johnson, Briscoe, Logano, Pastrana riding the chalk. Yeah, Logano's risky up there. But, you know, if Logano wins, you got a shot, but very risky. But I like everyone else for sure. I like everyone else. I wish you best of luck, Tyler. Let's see. This thing stacking the back is just crazy. Nothing crazy about it. Historically speaking, that is the absolute best way to go. It's not a... I mean, I think the crazy thing is stacking the front here. I mean, it just doesn't work. Now, at other tracks, no, don't do that. But for Daytona 500 specifically, yes. Who is the best spotters today? You can't build DFS lineups based off of spotters. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything for fantasy purposes. You can have the best spotter in the world, but if you get clipped by someone in the wall and they have to go back on the track, it doesn't mean anything. So that's getting a little too noisy in the data, which there's no data for that anyway. I'm not saying it's stupid. I mean, yes, you need a good spotter, but by the end, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, President's Day? I'm just now getting President's Day messages. I'm so behind, but yeah, I guess that's true. I'm not in school anymore, so I don't care about, you know, most of the holidays outside of the major ones. You're clearly a loyal man. You're a Browns fan, no pun intended. I'm just gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the Browns are pain. I've seen one playoff win. I'm like just over 24. So I've seen one playoff win. Although I think they've won two, but I was like too young to see the first one in like 2002 or whatever that was. Stack the back in FanDuel, or is the strategy different? It's pretty much stack the back. If you want to get it slightly higher up for finishing position, you can. But overall, I'll be on the same drivers. Yeah, what Bull said, door bumper clear. They have a podcast with some of the spotters, and it's actually, I really enjoy that. Bull was the one who got me onto it, and it's pretty fun. I look forward to it every week. There's some decent NASCAR podcasts out there. I think the Denny Hamlin podcast, door bumper clear, the teardown, and someone made a betting podcast on that Dirty Mo Media. I forget what it's called though. Man, I'm behind. Anthony says, let's hear a little bit about you. What do you do for work and for? I just do this. This is what I do. You guys make it possible, so I do appreciate that. But yeah, I just move down here and do this kind of stuff, which is fun. Sorry, I am trying to scroll back to where I was. How I feel about Bowman today? Not playing him. For the Pulsar to be optimal at Daytona, the stars have to align. A meteor's got to fall down, hit 38 other cars, and even then, I'm not sure it would still work out. It would be nice to see the iconic number 21 in Victory Lane. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. King Tone says, "How y'all doing? I'm an Alex Bowman fan. No offense to your favorite driver today. It's just not a good spot for fantasy. But I'll play Bowman in other places, just not today." B. Keen says, heard you mention some cash locks, but didn't get to listen to yesterday's complete video. Cash locks. Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Ty Dillon. I like those guys in the back today. They should be very popular for cash games, and the floor is really safe as well, and the ceilings are high too. Sorry, I'm just checking a couple things. Almost got 500 likes on the video I posted. We should hit that. good. This live stream's been going forever. But since we're not doing a stochastic stream, I mean, I have all the time in the world, so. Yeah, we're sitting at, I guess it doesn't tell me how long it is. Internet says chat got Chris off track. That's how my Discord is. I mean, it's a NASCAR chat. 99% nonsense, 1% NASCAR in there. At all hours of the day, 3 a.m. You name they're crazy in there. I won the truck race too, says Harris. I'm forcing out for 7,500. Taking Smith again today. Briscoe, Haley, and LaJoy. Ooh, that is very contrarian. Very contrarian. Cloud says, QQ, thoughts on team stacking for tournaments? Not something I do. Like I said, they'll bail on each other. They'll do it. As Kyle Busch would say, Joey Logano, he's two-faced. I mean, he'll throw a block on a teammate. He doesn't care. Do I think a Ford or Chevy wins? If I had a guess, I would say Ford wins. But because my top two projected are Blaney and Logano. But if I had a bet, I'd say Ford. Travis says, I already have a subscription to the Solver for PGA Golf. Anyway, I can get a link for your NASCAR projections. Yeah, it should be in the description, maybe. It's like, I forget what it says. Does it say join the community or something? I don't know. But you can. There's the projections in the sheet. You could copy and paste if you want. I don't know if someone can link it or something. What's up, Trey? Hi, my man Trey here. Ricky says, great show, bro. Appreciate it. I'm not doing anything besides answering questions. So you guys make the show what it is. I'm not doing anything special. I'm so jealous. Fort Myers. I'd love to check Red Sox spring training. Yeah, I need to go to a game. You got JetBlue, got the Twins over there, and you got the Red Sox. I need to go to a game this year, spring training. I only live 10 minutes away from there. So, but yeah, I love Fort Myers. Great. The traffic is the worst part. There's way too many people here, but I just moved here, so I can't complain. I'm part of the problem. But yeah, there's a lot of people here. Sir Pico says that I missed the show. No, this is it. What site do you use for Fantasy Cruncher? For Fantasy? I don't. Okay, so if you mean like the optimizer, no, I have my own. But for FanDuel, I have to use Fantasy Cruncher because I do not have a FanDuel one. So, but since I work for Stochastic, I can use it over there. For FanDuel, for DraftKings, I have my own. Who you got to win? I mean, I would say a Penske car, but in all honesty, it's going to be something random at the end of the day. Sniper says Blaney is a bum. We're going to fight in Discord later for that. Chase Briscoe is my pick. Better play, Byron or Chastain. Splitting hairs there. I mean, I guess Byron, but it's like that. Sean says, what do you recommend for highest starting position play for a single entry GPP and for a 3-max? Would you fade Busch, JJ, and Hamlin all 3 entries? Thanks again for everything you do. No problem, Sean. For single entry, the highest I would probably go is 21st. I'd fade Hamlin probably. It's probably 21st because then you get Byron. And then as far as 3-max, I'd probably play 1 Busch and JJ, then the other 2 fade. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Hit that like button. Who's crashing first, Busch or Recchi? I guess my money would be on Recchi there. He's good at crashing. Gibbs? Yeah, I like Ty Gibbs today. He's starting in the back, so makes sense. Recchi takes Busch out. If they take both of each other out, I wouldn't mind it. Rick says, thanks, CP. Keep doing what you're doing. Number 1 in my book for NASCAR. Appreciate you, Rick. Appreciate the kind words. Where are we at? Let's look at over 400 people in here. We're almost at 300 likes. Almost. If we could get there by the time I roll out of here, that'd be awesome. Recchi, if I'm not first, I'll crash. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Thoughts on Priest? Priest is in a dead zone. I don't think the ownership's going to be high at all. My outcome percentage isn't very high. I've got around like 5%. It's just, he's in a really weird spot today. So if you're looking for an unknown driver, I mean, he's starting dead middle pack. No problem, grade A. Hopefully you crush it. I know you said you had a bunch of satellite tickets, so hopefully you can put this to good use today. Shark Killer says, I just went with racers 33 through 39 at Talladega last year and almost won. Yeah, I mean, that's a strategy for sure. Do I think Austin has a good chance finishing the top 10? Not a good chance. Potentially, yeah. But, I mean, it's all about just avoiding wrecks. Glenn says, Pastrana, throwback to the old days, stunt car drivers, stunt men, people from nowhere. Yeah, I mean, it's cool seeing him in here for sure. I like seeing new names for races like this. And he's got a decent ride, so we'll see what he can do with it. Do Ware, Daly, Herbst have the equipment to keep with the pack? I'm not sure about Daly. Daly is the one I'm worried about in this race, but everyone else I think is fine. Joseph says, Busch or Hamlin single entry? Busch, I guess. I mean, because they're both going to be chalky, but Busch is a better play in my opinion. Boldy in the Ope says, Pastrana is a talented driver. That DMZ is fun. See, I don't know. I can't get into DMZ. Maybe I should try it more, but I don't know. I just don't like the bots, I guess. Tyler says, Daly's car will break before a wreck happens. Yeah, probably wouldn't be too surprised. The car has barely worked all weekend. Starter sit some Eric for Almirola, you mean? I'm not going to play Almirola. Who's the long shot you think has a chance to win? Is Eric Jones count as a long shot? Jones, Haley, guys like that, long shots. Got a donor from Mantito here. Says, leave Daly alone. He's 4 seconds a lap off pace. Just need to click laps. Oh, Tito. I'm not sure. I feel like Daly's going to have to park it at some point. So, bad car. Yeah, we're back, Alex. Happy race day. You got a cash core. I mean, I think everyone's probably going to play Busch, Ty Dillon, that is, and Jimmy Johnson in cash today. At least that's what I would start with. Manny says, Chris, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Am I crazy for playing Blaney? Not crazy, but I think he's going to be overowned for where he's starting. It's very tough for where he starts. I love the idea to bet on the first one to wreck out. I would take Stenhouse. Yeah, I'm sure the sportsbook would get a lot of Stenhouse love for that. Sean says, so I wonder if everyone is thinking fade Busch and JJ in single entries. Maybe just play them and chant. No, I'll tell you right now. I don't think that's going to be the route most people go. I'm pretty sure they'll play them. High five the dude says, did you do the prize picks lineup yet? So the ones I liked a few days ago, their numbers got bet down. Like I like Stenhouse under 43.5. That's now at 39. Let me check some things. Let me see if some other lines moved. Larson's at 19.5. Am I wrong, or was he at 17.5 a little bit ago? I think that might have moved. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Stenhouse at 39.5. Laps led change. See, the two Penske drivers at 18.5 for Logano and 15.5 for Blaney for laps led. I don't really like betting laps led too much on prize picks for a race like this. But I do think one of those guys will lead a chunk of this race. So I wouldn't mind taking an over on one of those guys. But outside of that, it's not much. I will say, though, Kyle Busch just went up to 21.5 on the cars passed. He was at 20.5. The under is kind of enticing there. And then also Kyle Larson at negative 11.5 is somewhat interesting as well. Because I was honestly considering the under on Kyle Busch at 20.5. Now that's at 21.5. It's not bad. I mean, a lot can happen moving from the back to the front. Keselowski looks good. He's one of the drivers starting within the top 10 that I have. He's actually the driver in the top 10 that I have the most exposure to. Eric says, join the Discord or it's bad luck for the whole season. Yeah, if you guys want to join the Discord, links down below for that. Also we have the members Discord, which I'm in all the time. And then I have a free one if you ever need to get in there, or if you ever want to join that. I can create an invite link and drop it in the YouTube here if anyone wants to join. I can obviously not promise to be in there as much as the paid one, obviously, but if I have time, I'll be happy to answer questions. Hamlin or Chastain for cash? I would go with Chastain. Bubba or Pastrana for a single bullet in the millie? Ooh. Could go for the one with Bubba. Could. But if you don't go with Pastrana, make sure you get some other back drivers to pair with Bubba, just so you're not, you know what I mean? Bill Lee says Pastrana finishes third backwards as Bubba wins. That'd be something. Let's see. Binium says, Chris, when constructing a lineup, does it matter if you start inside or outside? Like, you mean on the track? Wait, no, it has nothing to do with anything today. Got a dono from a man, the Travis Miller. Appreciate that. Have you back among my fellow NASCAR gambling degenerates. Anyways, I'm going straight up Larson, Logano, or Bell to win. One of them got to do it. Hey, I wish you the best of luck. Personally, for me, I don't want them to win because I don't have much of them for DFS at all. But deep down, I'll root for you a little bit. But I appreciate the dono. Thank you very much. Kelsey says, for 20 max on DraftKings, what position driver would you start from a driver pool? I was going to go from 15 to 40. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No problem with that. I mean, there's a couple drivers within the top 15 that I'd have interest in, like Keselowski, maybe Harvick, but I mean, the 15 is a fine cutoff point. C. Austin says, thanks for all you do. Best in the business. Got to finish lineups up now. Appreciate that, C. Austin. I'll see you in the Discord, but thank you for being here. I think we're going on like 2 hours now, which is my longest stream ever, but I keep getting questions, so I'll be more than happy to answer them. We're almost at 300 likes. Almost at 300. Hopefully we can get that in the next like by 11. Or not 11. By 1. Who I was confident will finish top 3? My projections have Blaney, Logano, and Hamlin. Is that an expectation that they finish top 3? No. But that's what it's projected. Reddick over Hamlin. Yeah, I like Reddick more than Hamlin today too for DFS. Bill says, you fading Busch? By fading, I am underweight. It's not like I'm not playing any Kyle Busch today. Like, if Kyle Busch is optimal today, I'll have enough Kyle Busch lineups to where I'm not dead. I will still have a lot of Kyle Busch. But for what his projected ownership is, I'm underweight today. But he's a lock in cash games. Eric says, C-Pen is the NASCAR. Appreciate that, Eric. Thank you. JJ says, how's it going, Chris? Boogity boogity. What's up, JJ? Thank you for being here. Thoughts on Gibbs today? Starting in the back, I like Gibbs. Is it worth taking Kyle Busch and Hamlin in the Millie Maker? It's just going to be, if you're putting one lineup today, you're just eating a lot of chalk there. I'd try to get different. Jeff says, stack the back on FanDuel as well, or does the strategy differ from DK? It's very similar. Very similar. I mean, slightly less emphasis on place differential, but for the most part, yeah, it's the same. Got a donut from man Saif. Apologize. Hi. I have a lineup with only drivers starting in their 30s. It's fine with me, man. Fine with me. I do appreciate the dono, but yeah, it's a fine way to go for a track like this for sure. I'm almost getting caught up to the chat. I'm trying. Yeah, PD is a little bit less important on FanDuel, but Hippo says racing reference is better because you get the average running position. Yeah, racing reference is good if you ever need to reference some races, but yeah, I don't mind them. D'Angelo says, and they go way back. They got everything. I'm looking at like some beach race in like 1950 one time. Top GPP plays low owned. I mean, I like Eric Jones in the bag, Justin Haley, Riley Herbst, guys like that. It's just like the drivers that are starting right beside the big chalk place, if you just go like one spot over, they're going to be much lower round. Yeah. Who's my predicted winner? I think it's like Logano or Blaney. Thoughts on Burton? Very low owned today. I don't mind him. I mean, he's starting mid-pack, but he can work with Penske. But I'm talking like just a handful of percentages on him. Jorge says, that upcoming Door Bumper Clear episode following this weekend will be spicy. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I love Door Bumper Clear. And now with the Denny Hamlin podcast, you got a lot to be excited about every week. Do you think Elliott's going to be top 5? If crashes weren't a thing for this race, I would think Elliott's top 5, yeah. But as we know, wrecks are a major thing for Daytona. Tyler says, first time playing NASCAR DFS, is Kyle Busch close to a lock? If this is your first time, again, do not expect this week to be like how it is every week. Kyle Busch, from a projection standpoint, yes, he's a lock like for cash games, but in tournaments with the high variance, it's not a terrible idea to be underweight. Thoughts on Austin Dillon? I like Austin Dillon today. Just another place differential in the back and pretty good at Daytona. Who's the highest pole sitter you are getting some exposure to? So there's only one pole sitter, and it's just Bowman. But if you mean like closest to the front, my highest exposed inside the top 10 is Keselowski. And he's 10. Scotty says Logano versus Busch. For DFS, I'm taking Busch. Is Elliott worth 1%? I have more than 1% Elliott. I have like 6. So yeah, he's worth 1%. Gotcha, King. When building lineups, does it matter if drivers start inside or outside? Nope. Imagine putting the title Professional Rainmaker on a tax sheet. Right? Appreciate you, Cody. Thank you. Josh says no lie before lock on Stochastic. Yeah, I know. I like doing that. I'm not sure why they didn't want to do one. I do have the video up on their site, though, if you want to check that out. Where will Jimmy Johnson finish? I mean, I got him finishing like around 22.96 is where I have him at. I mean, is that going to happen? No, probably not, but it's just the median range I have him at. Best Discord, hands down. Yeah, I'm not in any other Discords, but I think ours is pretty fun. I mean, we are literally in there every minute of the day. Did you work on cable management during the off season? You mean like it's on my desk? It's looking a lot cleaner. I got a new setup and everything. And the cable's back there. Yeah, so we're looking cleaner for sure. And I finally got 2 monitors. So I was doing we started with the laptop. We went to a monitor, and then we got 2. So much better now. Herbs, Briscoe, Dinger, or Stenhouse for the last cash spot. I would go with Briscoe. What's my Dom group? No such thing as a Dom group for this race. So, I mean, yeah, I think there's going to be guys that lead laps for sure. Like Logano, Blaney, Keselowski, guys like that. But I don't have a Dom group today. Chris says, are the projections up on Patreon yet? Yeah, they've been up. I had them up on Thursday night or Friday morning. So they're there. It's if you're new to the Patreon, it's the post that says Daytona 500. There's an Excel sheet there, and everything's in that sheet. Just make sure you flip to the tabs. What's the most amount of salary you leave on the table? Anything, really. Anything. I think any amount of money on the table is fine today. Best GPP play? My highest leverage guy is like Riley, starting way back in 38th. And then like Jones, Haley, those kind of guys. It's just for where they're starting, I think they're going to get a little bit overlooked just because they're kind of sandwiched between bigger name plays, differential plays. Getting a lot of Chastain on Cruncher. I mean, it makes sense for where he's starting. Who has the highest floor? Like Jimmy Johnson. Probably got the highest floor today. Him, Kyle Busch. Anthony says NASCAR viewing party in Fort Myers. Hosting? Yeah, we should. Apparently there's several people here from Fort Myers, so let's see. I got you, Travis. Easy says, Mama Pennell, go Joey. Don't buy into the Joey propaganda from Easy. Just kidding. I mean, he's like my projected winner today, but I don't want it to happen. Daly has the new lawnmower. That's disrespectful to lawnmowers. Whatever Daly's driving, I don't know what that is. Does this race play out like the Xfinity race? I usually don't try to draw comparisons from Xfinity to Cup. Thoughts on McDowell as a play? I don't really have any McDowell. Like, he's a good super speedway driver, yes. Just for where he's starting, the risk doesn't seem worth the reward. He was the best play under 8K. Ooh, under 8K. I mean, there's a lot of good plays under 8K. Let's see. I mean, in theory, Jimmy Johnson. Disregarding ownership or anything like that. Redeker Jones in the Millie. Jones will probably be lower owned, so I'll just go there. Hello, Hunter. Nice of you to make it. Any left for Reddick? Yeah, I like Reddick. And your name is very close to mine. Zachary, we're an A and an E off of each other. It's very weird. But yeah, I like Reddick. Go with Gibbs and Burton for your low price plays and the build accordingly. Another blessed day, 11. That's all you can ask for. McLeod, baby. There's my McLeod fan. I always have that one McLeod guy in here. What's up, Mario Don Yeezy? We back. Yes, we are. Baldy in the Oaf says, how high owned should I have back market guys like Bush, Ty Dillon, etc.? I mean, it's personal preference. Like, for example, if we think Kyle Busch is going to be close to 60% owned today, if you want some exposure but still be underweight, like a 40% is fine, something like that. But if you really like Kyle Busch and you think he's going to be 60% owned, you need to be like at 80%. So it depends what route you want to go. Ty Dillon, personally, I have close to 40% Ty Dillon today. Bull says it's going to be Bubba, Hammond, and Reddick top 5 and I'm set. Yeah, we know Bull loves his little Toyota getting there. Blaney going to be high owned. I think he's going to come around a little bit over 15% owned. Everyone likes playing Blaney at super speedways, which I know is not like high owned compared to some other guys, but for where he's starting, I think that's too high. Should I fade Hammond in the Millie Maker? It's not a bad route to take. Joel says bring Oakley in. Well, see, I'd have to get up. I'm sure you'd love that. Is Jimmy Johnson a good play on FanDuel? Thank you. Yeah, he's fine on FanDuel. Yes, Miss Juliana is my girlfriend. She's unfortunately in Ohio today. What's up, Brett? Glad to have you back again for NASCAR, Chris. Top 5 lowest owned drivers for the Wreckfest. Like, I just like the pivots off the chalk. Like, you have Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch in the back. You can take the pivots of, say, Riley Herbst, Ty Dillon, Cody Ware all back there. You have the chalk of Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse. You can pivot to Haley and Dinger, who's also sandwiched in between Dillon and Reddick. So, kind of guys like that. Speaking about niche sports, it would be nice to see Major League Rugby on all DFS. I can't say I'd get into it, but if that's something you're into, yeah, you might have a decent niche there. I remember when COVID hit, there was like Australian football or something. See, Mitch says, lamps are in, just need to grill up some wings now. Enjoy. I need to make some lunch too. Although mine's not going to be as nice. Hamlin or Byron? I'd go with Byron. Grimace suit stays on until Phoenix. Wings sound delicious. Are you live all the way to lock? Oh, God, no. That'd be way too long. We're already at 2 hours right now, so I pretty much got to get off here soon. But this has been a marathon. I do appreciate everyone being here. Anyone playing Pastrana? I'm playing Pastrana. 2.5 hour drive away? Yeah, that's not too bad. Top dominator FanDuel. No, dominator points don't matter today, especially on FanDuel. There's dominator points don't even exist over there. 0.1 for lap led, and that's it. It's all about placement points today. Squidly says Travis Pastrana top 5. My labs would like that, but I'm not expecting that for sure. I've almost caught up to the chat. It's only taken 2 hours, but let's see. I think I've answered every single question here. I'm only having one driver starting in the 30s, too little in the milli. Only one driver in the 30s. It's not awful. I would just hope the rest of your lineup's like in the late 20s. Close to it, at least. Yeah, we're very close. 1,700, not enough to leave on the table for DK3 Max. Well, it just depends what it looks like. Like, if you're using a bunch of high-owned drivers, then I would say that's bad. You know what I mean? But it would just depend on who those drivers are. No, you misspelled our name. The E is the correct version. Last year, Blaney started 7th and finished 4th and was optimal still. Again, a lot has to go right. A lot has to go right. I guess I did make it seem like I don't have pants on, but no. How do you feel about Ty Dillon? Ty Dillon's one of my favorite plays on the slate. Just super safe. So Chastain or Reddick? I would go with Reddick. Zachary says he's also from... We're at in Ohio. I'm from Northeast Ohio. Maybe we're like lost cousins and a name got mixed up somewhere. Timmy says, hey Chris, would you even go near Priest? A couple percentages, but I'm not like super high on Priest today. Dayton, okay, yeah, we're not that close on them. I was by Akron, Canton area, so something got mixed up somewhere. Whew, this has been a marathon. I think I caught up to the chat. Yep, Major League Rugby is gonna blow up, and Plus USA set the host rugby. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about that, but you seem into it, so you could, if that ever becomes a thing, I mean, you could probably do some real damage there. All right, I think that's about it. If you have any more questions, I'll answer them, but I'm tired now. What's up, Maurice? I'm a first timer. If this is not asking too much, can you give me a plug and play? Okay, so if you're looking for just the locks today, in tournaments, I kind of like fading them, but Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Ty Dillon, those kind of guys. But you're a lot more handsome than me, to be really. Thank you. Northeast Ohio represent. You know it, Matt. You know it. Back at you, Maurice. Thank you for being here. Awesome job answering every question that everyone does. Yeah, I try my best. This is your guys' time. I got nothing to do anyway. Ohio gang, you know it. You know it, Zan. No problem, Tim. Thank you guys for being here. All right, I'm probably going to get out of here. Wish you all the best of luck today. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do that. Follow me in the Discord. If you like the live streams, it's that times 10 in the Discord as far as rowdiness. So it's fun to be in there during the race. I'm sure a lot of people will be tilting and having fun at the same time. So, yeah, it was a fun one. Good start to the year. Had a lot of people. Appreciate it. Are we at 300 likes yet? All right, we are. All right, you guys did your job. Thank you for all the donos. Thank you for everyone being here. Wish you all the best of luck. Join the contest if you haven't yet done so. And, yeah, that's about it. All right, see you guys.